Hey guys, it's Megan. Welcome back to my home library. Today, I guess I'm celebrating Summerween. So I've never done Summerween before, but I've only got, I think, 3 days left. I think it only runs through the 12th. This is a kind of like read-a-thon thing by Gabby, and I can link her channel down below. You've probably heard of it. It's like all over the internet, but I think it's the 5th through the 12th of July, and today is July 10th, so I have 3 days left of Summerween, and I have 3 books that I want to get to, and I just decided randomly yesterday to do this because I was currently reading a scary book, and I found 2 more scary books at school that are YA books that I want to read. So I thought, what better time? So just to preface, I've only ever liked one scary book ever that I've read. I haven't read very many scary books, first of all. But the only book I've ever given 5 stars is A God in the Shed. And it's one of my favorite books of all time ever. Can't wait to read that again. So this is probably not going to go well. But here's my TBR. Let's just go through the TBR real quick. First, I'm going to be finishing Staircase in the Woods by Chuck Wendig. This is an adult horror, kind of like fantasy horror maybe as well, because there's a fantastical element with a staircase in the woods that somebody goes up into when they were younger and then they don't come back and they disappeared. All the other characters are older now and they have to figure out kind of what happened. So maybe there's a little mystery as well, but it's definitely horror. And I am 42% of the way through the audiobook right now. So I'm going to keep reading this one and I'll tell you more about it later. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not super, it finally just kind of got to the scary part. It's not super scary though, but I really like the character dynamics. And that one, it's really more about the characters, honestly, than the plot. Then I'm going to read probably this one next, which I got this one at school from the library, The House Where Death Lives. This is a short story collection. I do not like short stories. I don't know why. I guess because they're too short. I like long books, right? I just got finished reading a 700-page book yesterday. So I'm not thinking this will be great, but the reason why I want to read it is because of the way it's structured. Because I'll show you the beginning here. It says attic, down the stairs, 2nd floor, 1st floor, and grounds. And so basically each story is set in one room of the house or something, or one area of the house. And it's different monsters in each area. Oh gosh, the font's tiny. That is some tiny font. Holy cow, this might be a longer book than I expected it to be. Ugh. Well, there is no audiobook for this one, so I'm reading this one physically, unfortunately. But that'll be the only one probably that I read physically. The other 2 I have on audio. And then finally, once I finish, I've got about 4 hours of the audiobook left at the speed I'm listening to. I think it's 1.75 times speed right now on Staircase in the Woods. I'm going to finish that, and when I finish that one, I have the audiobook for this one, which is Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. This is giving me House of Hollow vibes. It's one of my favorite young adult books of all time ever. And maybe it's because there's flowers on their face and that's what is on the House of Hollow cover. But I think it's maybe horror fantasy also. But I had a student at school who read this and absolutely loved it. And she said that I have to read it. So I've heard really, really good things. In fact, I don't think I've heard anything bad about it. I don't know anything. I really have no idea what it's about, but we'll find out together. So that is the TBR for this video. Will they scare me? I don't know. You know what is scary though? Allergies. Yep, got them. Bad. Had to use my neti pot right before this clip. So wish me luck. Oh, and how did I almost forget the drink of the video here is a hot coffee because of my sinuses. I thought maybe a hot drink. So I made me a cinnamon Starbucks K-cup thing and it's pretty good. Hello and welcome to a closet update. First of all, Staircase in the Woods. I'm 42% and I'm going to be listening to the audiobook right now as I am cleaning out my closet because this is the stuff of nightmares. Truly nightmare fuel. Let me show you. So I really need to clean out. I have 2 closets in my bedroom. Look at this. Please don't judge it. Oh my gosh. Why am I showing you? I think it's because I feel so guilty about how out of control this closet has gotten. It's junk. Let me take you to the other closet on the other side. Also, what has happened? This is one school year that I didn't clean out this closet. And this is what's happened. What am I doing with my life? But when you have a 4-year-old and you're just busy all the time and you're in Ashland every other weekend visiting your parents, this is what happens to your closet. Okay, so the book though. The book, as I'm starting to look at how I'm going to clean and organize here, the book is pretty good. It's not super scary. Honestly, the friendship dynamics, like I said a minute ago, are my favorite parts because there's a lot that happened with these characters in the past. And then now it's kind of all coming to fruition and they're having to confront a lot of stuff, and I'm intrigued to see where it's going to go for sure. I honestly don't even care about the scary part of it, which is really, really weird. Obviously, like, it has to be scary because it's horror, but the writing style is really, really good. The characters sound very realistic. They sound like real people. They sound like real adult characters. I just finished reading not too long ago, Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson, and my problem with it, one of the problems, is that they just didn't really sound like adults. And, you know, she was a YA author previously, but this author, I don't know, they sound very adult. The characters are very distinct personalities, and it kind of goes back and forth between a couple different characters' points of view. And I love the girl, Lauren. She is just like hardcore. Like, she's not a very nice person, really. She's just very kind of abrasive, and I kind of like her, though. I mean, she's not the most likable character, but that's why I like her, I guess. She stands out. She stands out. That's what it is. She's not like other characters. But yeah, I just kind of got to the scary part. Obviously, I don't want to tell you too much about the plot, but there is a staircase that they find in the woods when they were kids, which is another reason I kind of like it, because I like stories where something happened in the past, kind of Stranger Things-esque, you know. The last year I read the book Meddling Kids, and it was supposed to be kind of something similar, but it wasn't as good or funny or anything, which this one's not funny either, and it's not supposed to be, but the Meddling Kids one should have at least been a little bit funny, because it was like a Scooby-Doo, you know, kind of retelling, sort of. So in this one, they did find the staircase in the woods as teenagers, and one of their friends disappeared. He was like the cool kid, like the best one of them all, like he was athletic and popular, not really quite like the rest of them, but he was still their friend anyway, and he disappeared after going up the staircase. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on with their friendship dynamics too. And they just kind of faked his death. Like, they threw his stuff off a cliff, and the police, there's a part like about the police interrogating them. I like that part. I always love a good detective story part of it. I don't know why, but I really like that. There's another reason I loved God in the Shed is because there's a detective part in it. And then now they're older, and most of the scenes right now though are taking place in the past, even though they are older now. There's a lot of flashbacks to what happened before. So I'm guessing that now it's going to be more the present, maybe for the second half of the book, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's just still going to be a lot of flashbacks. But yeah, so they, I don't want to tell you what's going on. I don't want to tell you, but let's just say I'm finally at the scary part, basically. And it's not quite what I expected. I don't know what I expected. You're like, where do you go when you go up a staircase, you know, in the woods? Where do you just disappear? Where do you pop out at? So that's kind of what we're finding out. But anyway, I will clean out my closet, listen to my audiobook, and when I get quite a ways in, maybe like 75%, I will update you again. So I'm loving the plot twist in my book so much that I did both closets in like 30 minutes. Look at that. I mean, yeah, the jewelry, whatever, but like, I fixed the shoes. I got rid of a whole bunch of shoes and stuff to give away that don't even fit anymore. I got rid of a bag of trash, and there's more shoes and stuff over there. And yeah, that's the floor now. It's all organized, and I'll show you the other closet. Boom. Look at that. Look at that floor. There's a floor. You can see the shoes now. I mean, half these shoes probably don't fit either. Once I had the baby, my shoes like grew a whole size. And so, I mean, my feet grew like a whole size. Let me zoom out. There you go. Maybe you can see a little bit better. There's still some, that's laundry. My laundry basket will sit right there. It's downstairs right now. But yeah, didn't take me too long, and it's done. Okay, I am 75% of the way through the scary book. What's it called? Staircase in the Woods. It's better than I thought it was going to be. Right now, it's on track to be 4 stars. I did just finish reading Perdido Street Station the other day too, physically, and I know it's not part of this vlog, but it was like a 5-star, one of my favorite books of all time ever. One of the best books I've ever read in my entire life. And it's hard to now pick up anything else because nothing else is ever going to be as good or compare. Sorry, this light is like right in my eyes over here. So yeah, this book is really, really good. It got scary just a little bit in the middle, but then once the characters kind of figured out a little more what was going on, it's not as scary now. Like, there's obviously some horror elements, but I just got to a plot twist. I don't know why I didn't expect a plot twist, but there were no clues. I mean, there was maybe one clue but I didn't really think about it as being a clue at the time. So it was pretty shocking. I'm very excited to know more about it now because I'm like, whoa, what? 2 of the main characters are video game designers. So the fact that they're like connecting everything scary that's happening to like video games. I mean, it's not really like a video game, but they decide like, oh, maybe this is sort of like a weird simulation, you know, and they're NPC characters and there's some glitches and stuff like that. And it's really kind of cool because obviously I like video games. So that made it less scary. And now I want to see how it all wraps up at the end. I feel like we're finally getting to the conclusion. It was a little long, a little slow in the middle maybe. But like I said, I mean, 4 stars for the fact that I gave a horror book a good rating and didn't find it like super scary. Didn't have too many nightmares, only like 1. That's not too bad. Okay, I finished the book. Yay! Okay, so I listened to it all day, and I've listened to like, 25% of this book just today. So I think it's my own fault with the pacing, because I was going to say the pacing's kind of weird. It seems like the middle is kind of long and drawn out, and the ending is just like boom, boom, boom. But I think that's partially my fault because I listened to it so quickly at the end, and then, spent like months on the first part of the book. I spent like 2 months reading the first part. But overall, I gave this book 4 stars. I am shocked because, giving a horror book 4 stars is pretty crazy for me. My favorite part was, well, 2 favorite things: the characters and the writing. I thought that's what made it stand out. I didn't honestly care that much about the plot, which is why it's not like 5 stars, like God in the Shed or something. But overall, I mean, if you want just like a not too scary book and something very kind of modern and that really is more about the character dynamics, not like super likable characters, but has a pretty decent ending. It's a little open-ended. Like, I don't think there's going to be a sequel, but I was kind of curious where it was going to go next. And then all of a sudden it went to the next chapter, and the next chapter was actually the author's note. And I was like, what's happening? They're talking about writing a book, but it was like the same narrator voice. So I thought it was another chapter, but it was not. It was just an author's note. But I'm going to move on to the next book, which I've already started, but you don't know about that yet because that's the first, not the first book in the, I don't know. What am I talking about? I'm reading them out of order. But that's book number 1 down for Summerween. Technically Summerween ended yesterday, 2 days ago. Can't remember, but I'm continuing on because technically Summerween's like 8 days or something. And, I'm doing it in like 4 or 5. Okay, we're moving on to book number 2. I've not yet finished book number 1, spoiler alert. But since that's an audiobook, I needed a physical book as well. This one I have to read physically because, there's no audiobook available anywhere. I've looked on every service known to man, cannot find it. Maybe it just doesn't even exist. I see it says JLG Gold Standard, so I don't know. Maybe this is not a very popular book. I know some of theirs before, they're not really published very many places. I don't know. I'm gonna look it up and see if there's very many reviews on Goodreads. But I just finished watching 2 episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia because it's like one of my favorite shows of all time ever. Favorite funny show for sure. And it just came out last night. Yeah, it just aired last night, so it's on Hulu today. So I watched 2 episodes of that, and it was really funny. Very good. Still love it. But yeah, I'll look up the reviews on Goodreads and I'll let you know what I find out. Okay, so here we go. Goodreads only gives this, it doesn't have tons of reviews, but it gives it 3.48 stars. I don't see too many things worse than 3.5. So I'm a little scared. Let's see what authors are in here. Tracy Chee, I've heard of. She writes like fantasy. Oh, Courtney Gould, or whatever, I've heard of. She's written some YA books. Let's see, have we heard of any of these other people? That one's interesting, not capitalized. That's like E.E. Cummings. Those are the only 2 I've heard of. So I did see somebody say the first couple were the best. So maybe they start with the strong ones and then they go downhill. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Technically they do go down. Look, it starts, attic, down the stairs. Are these, ooh, okay, attic, that's cool. Okay, good morning, Georgia. All right, well, let's see. I want to see if they all tie together. I don't know. Is this all like one house? I'm not sure. It implies that it is based on the title and the cover, but we'll see. Well, it's car update time, but don't worry, I'm not driving this time. I brought a driver. Okay, so update on the house where death lives. Well, I've got such mixed feelings. I've been through just a roller coaster of emotions with this book. I'm a third of the way through exactly. Read a third of it yesterday. It reads really fast, even though the font I showed you is like incredibly tiny. But I will say, I liked the first story. Didn't really care about like the 3 stories after that, and then I liked the 5th story. So I don't know. I guess obviously that's what you get with short stories. It's like a box of chocolates, right? You just don't know what you're gonna get. So I just don't know if I'm gonna continue. I was gonna update you and tell you that I'm DNFing it because I did have some bad dreams last night, and I'm literally in the middle of 2 like scary books, and I was like, maybe I should just not read scary books because I won't have bad dreams. But now that I think about it, I kind of want to keep going. I don't know why. There's just something satisfying about reading these short little stories after reading that big long 700-page book. That's just such a palate cleanser, and it's just so easy to read. So I don't know. Even though I was about to tell you I'm going to DNF it, in the middle of the night when I was laying there and I couldn't go back to sleep, I knew I was going to DNF it, but now I think I'm going to keep going. So, it's fine. It's not as like house themed as I thought it was going to be. I'd really hoped that somehow the stories were going to connect. I think one of them did. One of them mentioned something that happened in one of the other books. So I'm like, I think that was supposed to be the same house, but I'm not really sure. But there was one story that I'm pretty sure people would have hated that I actually really liked because the ending was totally ambiguous. You have no idea what happens at the end. Like the last line is just supposed to be vague. It's almost like Inception, right? Where you're like, the thing's still spinning and you don't know if it's going to stop or not. And that's the same case with this story. So anyway, pretty good so far. I will keep reading and I'll update you again. Before we start our new book, come with me to the drink fridge. That's what we call it. It's literally our downstairs fridge. It's all drinks. Oh my gosh. My seltzers, my stevias or Zevias or whatever, they're not great. These are Zach's Hawaiian Punches. Oh my gosh, these C4 Hawaiian Punch. That is like the best energy drink ever. I wish they didn't have quite as much caffeine. They're like 200 milligrams, but man, are they good. But right now I'm here for a seltzer water. I think I showed it in another video, but yeah, we redid our whole downstairs. I'll have to show you at some point. Like we painted and stuff, so yeah. But also, oh, so good. Okay, I wore this shirt for you guys. Talamasca. Hopefully this is like in frame. I don't know. But yeah, Anne Rice, if you know, you know. Anyway, we are on to book number 3. We are reading Don't Let the Forest In. This is the final book for this vlog, and it's only day 2 of Summerween for me because I'm still listening to my audiobook of Staircase in the Woods. There we go. I'm about 60% of the way through that. Gonna keep it as my audiobook. The short story book, I don't know. I might just read a story here and there from here on out, but I may call it quits on it for this video. I'll decide later. But we're gonna move on to the final book because I have the audio and physical book of this one, so I can start it physically right now. I have 30 minutes. We just got back from Lexington. It's like a 30-minute drive. We've been in Lexington all day just doing random stuff, so I haven't got to read any today. And then we're getting ready to pick up our son here pretty soon and take him back to Lexington to go bowling. And we just passed the bowling alley. Now we're going right back. But I probably won't get a ton of time to read tonight either. But this weekend we're going to Ashland to visit our parents and stuff, so I might get a little reading time, especially audiobook listening or something. I might get to read in the car a little bit, honestly. My child is better at entertaining himself in the car now than he used to be, like aka sometimes watching the phone. So I can actually read a little in the car. Anyway, I don't know anything about this book. I didn't know anything until I read the plot synopsis just a little bit ago. I'm not going to read it to you because I feel like it gives too much away. I feel like this is going to be like the first half or more of the book is going to be this. I feel like it tells everything. It tells the big conflict. Like it tells everything. So the only things I'd want to tell you is about a kid named Andrew, a high school senior who finds refuge in twisted fairy tales that he writes. And then there's a guy named Thomas who grounds him to reality because I think it's like a male-male romance maybe. Thomas is this perpetually ink-stained boy with ink-stained hands and hair like autumn leaves. It sounds like a very good fall read, honestly. And with his twin sister, Dove, I think that's, Andrew has a twin sister named Dove who's keeping him in kind of at a cold distance when they return to this academy called Wickwood. Andrew finds himself leaning on his friend even more. But strange things are happening to his friend. He disappears sometimes into the woods. He has blood on his sleeve. And I wish I didn't know anything else beyond that as to what's going on. Like his friend Thomas also like has strange drawings. There's monsters in the woods. But I wish that was all I knew. And there's a little bit more in the synopsis than just that. So I think if you know just that going into it, it's probably enough. Like I said, it's giving me kind of House of Hollow vibes. We shall see. It says, beautiful, horrific, perfect for any reader who has looked into the sharp mouths of disturbing fairy tales and found themselves entirely at home. And I like House of Hollow, which is very disturbing fairy tale vibes. So, but the ending of The House of Hollow is so epic. In fact, now I just want to read it again. I probably will read this book and then decide that I should just read House of Hollow again. Let's be real. So let's go read for 30 minutes. And once I get quite a little ways into this, I will update you again. Before we read more of the next book, I just want to show you that this came from Amazon. I got this on Prime Day for like $6. I love Home Before Dark. If you want a good thriller, this is it. It's not really very scary, but it's really fun. Maybe you don't like it because it's not like super serious. It does feel more like, I don't know, not young adult necessarily, but it's not really very scary, but it is really good. I love Home Before Dark. I want to read it again this year, but it's the only Riley Sager I've ever read. And I hear that Riley Sager is very divisive, so I don't know if I want to read anything else by him. But Cherry Coke Zero is our current drink right now since I can't have too much caffeine because of the Sudafed. But I am almost halfway through this book and thought I should give you an update. This is Don't Let the Forest In. This is going to be the final book for the vlog because I am going to DNF the short story collection. I just really have no desire to go back to it. So this book, however, is really surprisingly good. I will say I like House of Hollow better because I just like the plot better. And my least favorite thing about this book is that I know everything that's about to happen. because the plot synopsis here, literally, I told you at the beginning, gives everything away. We're halfway through and we are still having stuff happen that's in the plot synopsis. Nothing new has happened. And I even know what's going to happen next. I seriously think I'm going to be like 2/3 of the way through this book before something new happens. So I'm kind of disappointed in that. But the reason why I still like it is because the writing is just really good. The vibes, man, it is so atmospheric. If you want like stuff about like dark academia, like a school setting like Hogwarts but dark, and you want like dark plants, like I feel like it describes the plants a lot, then this would be the book for you. So if you like House of Hollow, definitely give this one a try. But like I said, just don't read the plot synopsis because it literally tells you everything. But so far so good. I don't really have much to say about it. It's fine. Like the characters are fine. I don't know. It's probably on track to be 4 stars just because of how much I like the atmosphere. I do think since it's set in September and with the vibes and stuff, you should definitely read this book in the fall. Very much fall vibes. But I'm gonna go read some more right now and hopefully get pretty far. Side note, I was looking through Goodreads and somebody I know from the past that I'm friends with on Goodreads also put the same review as me for Staircase in the Woods, and I had not seen the review before. When I said my quote, they said the exact same thing, that the beginning or the middle felt a little long and dragged out, but then the ending felt really rushed. And I was like, oh good, it wasn't just me thinking the pacing was that way because the way I read it. So anyway, it's other people think that too. Here we are just reading. Ella's over there. All the Goodwill stuff is right there. We're, like I said, cleaning everything out, and it's gonna rain at some point. I think it's getting like a little cloudy, and child's on his way home from daycare, but I am on page 174, so I've made it over halfway, and so far so good. Things are getting a little crazy now, a little violent. Random side note, taking Sudafed makes you read faster. The last book for the vlog is finished, but first let me show you, we redid Asher's room. Okay, just ignore, I mean, it's not even a boyish comforter, and that's like from when he was a baby. But like there was junk in this corner. There was an old chair there that he didn't even use anymore. There was junk behind the door. There were toys everywhere. Oh yeah, Disney World height chart. Is this not so cool? Sorry about that. I was interrupted. Anyway, yes, Disney World height chart tells what rides he can ride. He is currently 42 inches tall, so clearly he can ride. I'm sure he's going to be riding, what is it, Cosmic Rewind? Yeah, right. Definitely not. Yeah, his bookshelf's still kind of a mess, but you know, all in all, this room turned out pretty well. I even redid all of his closet. Guys, we did it. We finished Don't Let the Forest In. Also, my drink is the most watered down, not because of the ice, but because like it's mostly just carbonated water with very little syrup. So it's mostly not even Coke, but it's watered down Coke. Like it mostly just tastes like seltzer or like carbonated water with the smallest hint of Coke. Anyway, I finished Don't Let the Forest In. Oh my gosh, what a ride. The first half, I thought it was gonna be 4 stars. I kept saying to this vlog that it was gonna be 4 stars. In the end, like the second half of the book, I give it like 2 stars. So overall then I'm going to give it 3 stars. If you think about that call pile rating system that G at Book Roast created, I talk about it sometimes on here. There's 7 letters, call pile, that's an acronym. So characters, I gave a 3. They were fine. Atmosphere, I gave a 4 because it's very, very vibey. That's pretty much the whole point of the book, is the horror vibes and just the descriptions and stuff. So the writing for the W in Call Pile is also a 4, just because it's really, really good actual writing quality. I saw one review on Goodreads that said like it was more just purple prose, but I enjoyed the writing. I would have enjoyed it more, obviously, if, you know, there was more plot or that it was really exciting or good. P for plot, I would give 2. There's some plot twists at the end. I did not like the plot twist. It's overdone. I've seen it many times before in young adult books. Honestly, I didn't see it coming. I should have. There was a little bit of a hint maybe earlier on that something had happened, but I don't think I could have figured it out. But let's just say compared to something like House of Hollow, which I'm going to keep comparing this book to because of the vibes and stuff, House of Hollow is infinitely better, like 5 stars. This is like not that good. Intrigue, I mean, I was intrigued enough to keep going, so I didn't DNF it, so I'll give it a 3, just right in the middle. Logic, not so much, like a 2 maybe. And entertainment overall was like a 3. So if you kind of add all those up and factor and, you know, average them, then it would be a 3 star. I almost want to, like I said, I kind of want to give it a 2 star, but I would probably try this author again. I don't know if this is her debut or not. C.G. Andrews. Author of 1,000 Perfect Notes, The Boy Who Steals Houses, and Now Don't Let the Forest In. I don't know those other 2 books, but I see such good things about it on Goodreads. It has a 4.1 average rating. Most of the reviews are very positive, especially from my booktubers. I don't think they've read House of Hollow, or else they don't care about the plot. I don't know. It's just not a book for me. I will definitely recommend it to students. I think if they liked House of Hollow, or if they liked other young adult books that have a big twist, like We Were Liars. This kind of gives like similar vibes to it. But yeah, I just wasn't a huge fan. We'll just do the final wrap up here in Ash's bedroom because it's noisy out there since I've got people here helping to install a door downstairs to hide the stuff under our stairs. Anyway, very fitting with the Harry Potter theme too, that we're gonna have like truly like a cupboard under our stairs down there now with a door. So, you know, if we ever adopt a little 11-year-old child, we could, you know, stick him in there. Anyway, just kidding. So we're wrapping up, what's it called? Summerween. I was gonna say Halloween. Wrapping up Summerween. This was kind of fun to read scary books in the middle of summer. And since it was after 4th of July, I think I've realized why they have it this time of year. If you have it right after 4th of July, there's really no other major holiday until Halloween, so it really does get you in the Halloween spirit. And now I went to like a store, like it's called like Home Goods or at Home. No, it wasn't that. World Marketplace, something like that. Anyway, they had their Halloween stuff out, so it's definitely getting close to fall, but not quite yet. So it's like pre-fall vibes at this point. So this really kind of gets you in the pre-fall mood for sure. So I'll be ready for fall even more so because of Summerween. So Gabby, that's pretty genius to have it the week that you do. So overall, we gave, oh, did I tell you I finished The Staircase in the Woods? Did I put that in this vlog? Oh my gosh, do I have to go back and film another clip? I hope not. Anyway, Staircase in the Woods we gave 4 stars because it was actually way better than we anticipated. Why we're talking in third person now is beyond me. So that one was a surprising success, and I would probably read more like that one in the future. We DNF'd this one because, you know, it was just okay, and I read a third of it in one day. So, I mean, obviously I could have finished it, but I mean, why read a 3-star book when I could read 5-star books? And then we wound up giving this one 3 stars as well. But hey, it's good that I read it for school so I can like know who to recommend it to. Maybe I can count it as part of my job, you know, obviously. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Summerween if you participated. I think I'll do it again next year. This might be my first annual Summerween vlog. So I will talk to you guys again later. Bye.